All right, so today we're going to do a quick little battle report of, we decided to just meet in this new game store we found. Well, it's an old game store, but still, it's new to us. We're going to be playing a game of Battletech, a very standard game of, back during the Succession Wars, was it?
Yep.
20-something?
2838.
Oh, okay. And we're going to be playing a very small point value. It's going to be 1,500 battle value. So it's pretty much going to be an interesting little toss. What's the, talk about the background of the scenario.
Alright, so this scenario is set during the Comstar War. It's set basically following the debacle that happened on Orient that triggered a shadow war between Merrick's, what's called SAFE, which was this organization, which is also listed as the crappiest counterintelligence organization in the Inner Sphere, decided to go and start a shadow war with Comstar. And so we are on a planet called Dalton V that is notorious for its storms and its rain. And there's an HPG here, and we're going to go attack that HPG. Absolutely. But Comstar got wind of that, and they're not very happy about it.
Yeah. We're going to be playing on a very basic battle map. It's canted, so it's going to be, this is back and forth. This is the back and forth between our two sides of the table. But the map is canted, so the hexes point in the one direction. Off of this road on this side, somewhere down here in this direction, over here, there's the HPG is somewhere down over here. But we have this very heavily rained map. We're going to be playing, we put a little bit of 3D terrain on it just for the hell of it, just to mark where all the woods hexes are. This is going to be during stormy conditions, so we have some very interesting conditions going on. Let's show you the forces. For 1,500 points, this is the safe force. Go ahead and talk about what you have here.
All right, we have one Jenner. We have one Jenner A. Its only armament is lots of armor and a large laser. All of my people's gunnery values are 3, and any applicable driving values are 5. This is a APC, a wheeled APC with a single machine gun in its turret and 2 half-ton infantry bays that allow me to carry
those guys.
2 5-man kill team squads, which I'll talk about in a minute.
Now, those a specific brand of APC, or are those a generic type?
They are a generic APC that is described in several technical readouts.
Okay.
And the only refit that I have in my army is on these, and it's to remove the machine guns. Because the normal one has 4 machine guns.
Oh, great. So it's got how many machine guns now? 1. That's logical. Talk about these guys.
So those guys are, they're a kill team of 5 guys. They are standard A3 gunnery. However, they are modified with cybernetically enhanced sensory implants, which give them a +1, so effectively, or a -1, effectively making their gunnery skill a 2.
Oh boy.
They also have sneak suit camo equipment, which gives them a 2-hit modifier to the opponent based on how fast they've moved, and because of the conditions, they will not be moving very fast, man.
Yeah. So those guys are kitted for special forces operations.
Yes, they are equipped with radium rifles and support pulse lasers. They do an additional D6 damage to conventional infantry. It's not relevant, but they are also Marines, so they operate in 0G if that really matters.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I got to say is when I play Battletech, I play Battletech. So my forces are... Now, I didn't originally want to play Comstar, but I had these mercenaries that were just going to be average 80s, metallic gray. And what do you know? Turns out that's Comstar's color. So I have 2 fleas. They're flea 4s. I've modified them down to 15 tons, so I stripped off all the weapons, made them 15 tons, gave them weapons back, but it's not great. It's got like machine guns and like small or medium lasers, something like that. This is the wobbly plastic that came out in the 2016 box, was it? 2015 box?
Yeah, I think
so. There's that wobbly plastic set. These are the new plastics. These are locusts. One of them is just this gray guy here is a stock locust. He is a locust, the same one you get in the Game of Armored Combat box set. That is a locust 1V. This is a modified locust. It has been modified down from a locust 1M. I stripped off all the weapons, and I just strapped a shit ton of machine guns to it because, you know what, it sounded like fun. And you'll know which one of those sheets is for that particular locus because it has an old piece of Japanese 80s art that I modified to have a really cool slogan. The new rule for machine guns is that you may roll d6 plus 1 or minus 1 if it's light or heavy. And you do that much damage, take that much heat, and you take times 3 that in ammunition consumption.
Yep.
So rapid fire with 6 machine guns, there's going to be a lot of dice rolling today. So that's going to be fun.
It does apply more heat. So, and also, I did forget to say, I am also using that modification on my vehicles here.
Okay, so those machine gun vehicles will be
they'll be rapid
fired as well.
Yep.
So this is going to be my force, and the map is going to be just so I get we have mud conditions on this because of the rain and storm that's going to be represented on this map. So you see all that open hex that isn't like. Well, if it's not rocky, if it's not a artificial surface, or if it's not a wood hex, it counts as mud, right?
Yes, sir. Oh boy.
This entire map is going to be conducive to not moving quickly. Now, there's one benefit. Mud does not affect which kind of vehicle.
Battle mechs.
I feel really smart right now. Sorry, man, but I suddenly feel really smart. I was bringing like dumb chicken, look at this. I got a flea and locust. I have an insect swarm to fight with. This would not do well against a 1,500 point worth, I don't know, Atlas or an upgunned Griffith or something like that. But still, this map is going to be covered in the ruin of somebody here really shortly. So we're going to be doing some rolls, finding out our deployment areas. I'm thinking he's pretty much going to be coming in from here, and I'll be defending from somewhere down here, God knows where. And we'll just see how this pans out. Turn 1. This guy essentially ran over to cover from his previous position. Did not really shoot during the turn. The rest of my guys advanced and formed a gun line. We'll find out how effective that gun line was in a second. Over here, go ahead and talk about good old Merrick.
So my Jenner does what Jenner do best. They like to hop on top of things and fire upon the enemy. I've decided to take up a sort of a sniping position because I noticed that there's a lot of mechs on my readout. So I'm going to try and peck them off, and I'm going to utilize my jumping MP, I think, because there's very scarce cover where I'm at. Mm-hmm. This guy risked skidding on the road and is running down the road to get to these woods hexes over here. He might decide to risk it and go to these woods hexes over here, depending on how combat between him and him goes here in the future. Mm-hmm. This guy is in the process of deploying the infantry over here.
He wanted to go into the woods hex. We discovered, you know what? In Battletech, wheeled vehicles don't go into woods hexes.
Yeah, I think the idea is that it would be so slow going that it really wouldn't be something you could do. It really.
Yeah. As a result of this interchange, we rolled a lot of not 10s and 11s. We needed kind of like 10s and 11s to hit our targets. Didn't happen. So we had a bunch of hissing lasers in between point A and point B. So it was just the Jenner and the Flea and Locust Battalion opening fire. This next turn, we'll see how that turns out. Well, it turns out my friend has an invention here. He learned from a friend of his. This is called the Box of Doom, isn't it?
Yep.
So you get to make multiple 2d6 attacks out of one box. I got glare in the way. But yeah, it doesn't matter where I turn, the glare's still there with me. Oh boy. But anyway, this we can roll multiple sets. We're going to use the top one. I have 6 attacks I'm performing with the machine gun laden Locust there into that poor innocent vehicle. Yeah, it's carrying 2 things of Special Forces infantry, so let's fuck it up. We figured it's going to take a 9 to hit with each of these, so we're going to roll this Box of Doom and see where the hell it comes out. So, the top one counting it over per attack. Now, rapid fire attacks do something special where you can roll the d6 worth of damage. So we're looking for 5, 6, 3, and 1 as far as how much gets actually produced. So the 10 hits for 3, the 11 hits for 3, the 7 misses,
Thank Christ.
the 7 misses,
Thank Christ.
the 5 misses, and the 6 misses. So we hit you for 6 points of damage in 2 different locations.
6-1 missed. Thank God. Burt.
Yes.
You also generated quite a bit of heat.
21 points of heat to get all those attacks out. So here we have turn 2, which has gone in some interesting directions. The infantry carrier, APC over here, has dropped off its cargo. It's doing its job. We do. Yes, that's correct. We have a stacked hex over here. The Jenner has gone from his high sniping position to being down in a little bit of a wooded rut where it can hide from the oncoming onslaught.
It's literally in a wooded trench right now.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice place to be considering he's being cornered down by three light mechs. Those guys fired, the weapon they had at range and just didn't hit anything. They just couldn't. So it wasn't very fun, but we tried. We really tried. This boy over here open fired with all those machine guns and hit twice for like a measly points of damage. He at least shot out a tire. I mean, we got some motive damage in there, so that's good enough. Other than that, we don't have the ability to, just tear him apart and let him could go. That is a solid vehicle.
You had the ability. You just missed a lot.
Yeah, because we're at long range, and it's there's a storm going on. The storm's going to be a bit of a problem. So, this is going to be a fun one to see how it turns out because that one Jenner over there has the ability to pretty much one-shot the sector of the mech he hits with whatever shot he makes. These are all light mechs. He's got a large laser. It's not going to be fun, but we've got all kinds of different possibilities here.
Also, I ran into a wall.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the crash.
So I decided, I'm going to try and get my vehicle over here as fast as possible because I was thinking of hiding in these woods over here. And I failed my check to move forward into here and crashed into the wall, which stunned my crew and thankfully didn't damage my motive. However, the machine gun did that job for me.
Yeah. Didn't and that thing took 3 points of damage from crashing and only 6 points of damage from the machine guns, right?
Yeah, which thankfully was actually spread fairly evenly, which I'm very thankful for. I couldn't fire back with my weapons though because crew stunned. Oh, yeah. So we'll see what happens this next turn.
This has been a fun turn. Those infantry over there in the trees have made their presence known by shooting at vehicles. I do believe they missed when they saw the pulse laser kick off. This guy, see the APC there next to the battle mech? The flea had its medium laser, the best weapon available to him, carved off this turn. Yeah, he lost the arm that was carrying that medium laser. He kind of needed it to go fight the Jenner.
Well, technically the arm's still there, it just doesn't have much left of it.
Amazing combat happened here where a bunch of missing happened. The large laser missed, the medium laser missed. I opened fire with both machine guns, and what do you know? I rolled a 6 that hit and chumped something. I forgot what I chumped, but it was pretty good.
You chumped his right torso.
So it wasn't enough to cut through and kill anything, but we are hurting the Jenner at close range with the Locust. Good, because I think, what's the Locust's, the Locust is a 20-ton mech. What weight is the Jenner?
35.
So he hits a heavier mech than us. We're technically out slaying giants, I guess.
I would love for him to just freaking die.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Over here is where the hilarious fun happened. Enough machine gun fire poured out into that APC that the APC died, and we had to roll to avoid shutdown on the blue Locust there. The gray flea there is feeling a lot less happy because it couldn't quite hit as well, and so it just kind of pinked away at the APC. But we now have a bunch of infantry that are in close contact with 2 mechs that are very capable of fighting infantry. The good news is see that blue guy there? He's a bit toasty right now, so he's not going to be shooting all those machine guns this next turn. He could shoot them without rapid fire, but the problem is rapid fire.
You cannot.
Rapid fire is a setting. You either set them to rapid fire at the start of the game, or you do not set them to rapid fire at the start of the game. This guy right here, he's stuck with shooting them on multi-heat mode.
Yep.
So it's going to be fun. That's another thing we discovered. Machine guns are fun now. There's a random element. They can go way out of heat and way out of ammunition. You actually get to use the 200 rounds you have in your tons of ammunition. It's nice. I actually like it. I actually think this is a vastly preferable way to run machine guns than previous versions of machine guns.
In my opinion, it's probably one of the best rules in TAC-Op.
Yeah, it is. So this battlefield is looking is a little bit sticky. We've got some swing that could happen one way or the other. So this is the bottom of turn 4. We had the other APC roll up to try to save the infantry. There was a bit of a spat between the infantry that had survived from the one earlier destroyed APC, and they actually punched a hole into the right side of that flea there. This guy lost heat, and he got shot at and was missed by the jumping, escaping Jenner. These guys, apparently, that's the problem with moving first, is, you get stuck behind crap like, large rocks. As you can tell, it's a large rock. I think the mech took, like, what, 2 points of damage or something like that?
He didn't take anything.
Yeah, right. It was actually the first time we've seen a leg cover do something. So,
yeah.
Boom, it hit the rock that was covering his leg instead. So, this battlefield has not yet devolved into chaos. It's actually still manageable. We gotta see what happens this next turn. It's going to be kind of fun because it still would be good to lose some more heat on the crazy man's side. But this crazy guy, he does have the option to open up those guns again and see what happens. What a turn this has been. Where should we start? So over here we have our machine gun laden locust hero has failed to kill off the infantry and APC in front of him. But it was a glorious attempt. He still has lots of heat. Remember the stormy conditions that caused rapids? Well, a leg got destroyed on that flea as it was in the water, and it got pushed downriver. Good news is his last go on Earth, he shot the large laser out from underneath the Jenner. So
as a one final fuck you, just blub blub blam, and my large laser is now gone.
The large laser's gone, the Jenner is operating, but it's operating as a kung fu mechanism. And as I'm looking at this Jenner, I'm not thinking he can probably like hit you with the cockpit, like do a dick slap with the cockpit. But this guy he's down to kicks. And I believe each kick attack requires a piloting roll. Afterwards,
I'm not kicking. I'm going to be death from aboving here very soon.
Okay, different kind of piloting roll. And then we have here the infantry, of course, behind the trees, shot the one locust, the locust and the remaining flea have done middling damage to the Jenner. But yeah, war has changed a little bit because this guy is now going down the river, and
Can you hear us, Caleb?
everybody else is just there. Grand hilarity. This turn saw the death from above attack being utilized and failed gloriously. To start things off with smaller events, our machine gun laden hero over here didn't decide to fire everything he had, so we had this really short bracka-racka-dacker of ammunition expulsion towards the APC and did generally nothing. So, that out of the way. This is where the fun began. The stock locust opened fire, did meager damage to a bunch of places that had no special gear since the laser was gone and we didn't have enough to like hit cockpit or anything really special.
Bring him closer. Bring him to me.
That flea is still underneath the bridge. That flea has a horrible situation, in which case I thought the tide was going to drag it further down the stream. Apparently not. It's just going to be stuck underneath the bridge. He could try to rise, but he'll hit his head on the top of the bridge, or the bottom of the bridge. He can try mech crawling, but he's a flea. He doesn't even have stubby arms. He has like little pintles that count as arms. They're worse than Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. He has one fried leg and one whole leg. He has a 1 in 12, not even 1 in 12. He's got he has to roll a 12. Like he has a 1 in 144 chance of getting his butt out into a hex where he can try to rise. And then he has the same chance to actually rise if that happens. That bastard, they're going to have to get a tow truck and roll down there.
I would love to be the planetary. They're probably just going to call a civilian tow truck company and be like, we need you to get a flea. Okay. And where is this flea be? A bridge. It's on a bridge? No, it's under the bridge. Under the water. You want us to get a 15-ton battle mech from under a bridge.
During a rainstorm, while there's rapids, and the pilot's in there in his atmospherically sealed conditions, slowly running out of bottled air, rations, clean toilet paper, and hopefully his contract
Contract with Comstar doesn't run out in the middle and they just go, hey, man, we suggest you eject.
Yeah, if Space AT&T decides to be poor to this pilot, it's going to be really bad for him for various different reasons. The death from above attack failed. We shot the mech a bunch, but he's still around. He damaged his own legs on the way down. The flea has backed off. That locust looks rather depressed over there because he failed to actually do any serious damage to the Jenner. He's just been picking away little punks and chunks and minor scratches here and there. So
Y'all make this 22.
that poor flea. That poor flea.
That made this whole game worth it.
This guy's pretty much dead. He's done. Well, the pilot, the head's still intact, so the pilot survived. Does the pilot go nuke Does the reactor go nuke when you crush it, or does it not?
No.
good.
In fact, I don't even know. I think that there's a rule for it going nuke, but it's actually really, really rare. Like, now, it's not a fission engine. Fission engines, on the other hand, are a very different thing. But fusion engines are remarkably stable.
Yes.
Falling.
It's funny because that flea shot the Jenner enough that it pretty much took out most of the legs, and the death from above attack pretty much sealed the deal.
It had like a little stick of metal hanging off of it.
Yeah.
My facing after a fall. 1, 2. So technically I'm facing this way,
And you
and
kerpunt.
I'm on the ground.
So there is now the cluster right there.
And he's not getting back up.
Holy God. So this brought down the Jenner. There's only the infantry and an APC left, which are facing off Mr. Machine Gun all day. Who also can stomp them, by the way. And we have those two guys over there with rifles in the woods. Those guys are going to have a hard time. There is also a fully active Locust with multiple different weapon types right there. He can try shooting up the APC, he can try shooting the infantry. He's got a lot of work ahead of him. He has a lot of work ahead of him. We've kind of got ourselves into a pickle here where I've got the upper hand at this point just because the Jenner went down. Took a flea with him. That's okay, I guess. Because I have my hefty Locust with all the machine guns and my stock Locust with guns and lasers. Really nasty.
Roll initiative, I guess.
So you want to keep playing?
Yes, unless you're done. Unless
I'm done. You know what? I'm not going to surrender this. Oh boy, we've entered the Scourge match phase. No real effect here. I even tried stepping on infantry and discovered it's not a very powerful thing to do. This is going to be nasty unless we do something about it. It's going to take forever, so we have to do something smart, fast. Game is over with some weird stuff. He ran out of ammunition and was resorted to stepping on infantry, which was, by the way, infantry are very resilient against Locust feet, so at the most I could kill one infantryman per turn. And the truck tried to ram me, but couldn't because of that broken axle. Wasn't making him very accurate or fast. Over here, that Locust did its job. 3 turns worth of grind, and it took out the rest of those infantry. Took 3 turns of grind. Yes, this is 3 turns worth we're encapsulating here. So, and that bullet represents the ejected Merrick mech warrior who got out of the Jenner and went over to the trees. With 3 infantry men, literally 3 guys left in the field, plus a broken APC, the injured mercenary Locust had called out for their surrender and they accepted. We will treat them with a cord, even though they are special forces guys who can probably be executed in the back of the head. So I like this. I've always liked Battletech, but this is the new machine gun rules are just too dang fun. Anything you want to throw in?
I actually would love to do more battle reports like this that are set in the Battletech lore, or not even in the Battletech lore, but have a really detailed background behind them. Because I think that setting really strict limitations for what you can take and what you can't take lends to interesting tactical decisions.
Yes. Which is why I was walking around with Locusts and Fleas, because my collection lended itself to Locusts and Fleas. So, anyway, yeah, this is our battle report for a small skirmish of Battletech, and hope you enjoyed it.